Hi everyone! After years of shooting aggressive landscaping since 1996, I started working on music videos around 2005. Long story short, I'm still technically doing music videos, but ever since leaving Belgium and experiencing different lockdowns, I couldn't find anyone who took music videos seriously or at the proper budget. I'll be referencing equipment that I used back in the day, even though most of it is no longer available or only found on the second-hand market. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first of all, here is my workflow. I think like an engineer. I'm all about numbers, processes, and optimization. That approach has earned me countless compliments over the years. So I must be doing something right. While my current YouTube setup isn't ideal, once this channel is monetized, I plan on fixing it. A perfect time to remind you to like and subscribe. A scene is essentially a surface to cover with light. Depending on the setup, you might need anywhere from 2000 to 8000 watts, or perhaps just a small accent lamp. Every camera responds differently to low light situations. For example, many Canon and Sony models are known for their strong low light performance, while certain Panasonic DSLR and mirrorless cameras can exhibit more noise under the same conditions. That said, sensor technology evolves quickly, so it's always a good idea to test your gear in your shooting environment. Lenses play a huge part in low light performance, often just as much as the camera itself. A fast lens like the Canon 50mm f1.8 can completely change your workflow. Its wide aperture lets in significantly more light. This means you can rely on more natural or available light during field shoots, instead of needing powerful artificial lighting. For example, shooting at f1.8 instead of f4 can make a major difference in dark environments, helping you maintain a clean image with a low ISO and less noise. This is especially useful for guerrilla-style music videos or YouTube setups where mobility and adaptability matter. Also remember, the heavier a camera is, the more stable it is, and the more cinematic your shots will feel. A solid, heavy camera has presence. So if your best lit shots still look cheap, consider adding weight with a gimbal, slider, crane, or dolly. I've used the battery grip of a Canon 7D just for the added heft. Don't hesitate to experiment with that. I focus mainly on indoor scenes, as in Belgium, especially Brussels, we didn't have much sun. Forget about beach scenes, mojitos and bikinis, it was all about the street vibe. That's why I specialized as a music video director, set director and director of photography for indoor environments. However, these principles apply equally to music videos, YouTube sets, or even movie scenes. It's all about the light. When it comes to camera settings and tips, I'd say the final image is roughly 50% lighting, 30% camera settings, 20% decoration and composition, with a dash of common sense thrown in. Don't quote me on those percentages, they are not scientifically proven. Maybe you're thinking, but Getz, I cannot buy 25,000 bucks worth of equipment. And I understand that. If you can't afford to buy the gear, rent it for the shoot days. It's often not that expensive, and it's better to have the right equipment for an important event than to invest in only half the gear and develop a bad reputation for being cheap. So here are key guidelines and equipment tips. Start with the technical lighting to get your main scene lit, then move into the creative touches. Minimize the number of additional lights by using natural light when possible. Use the sun at the right angle. You can check websites like suncalc.org or photoephemeris.com for sun tracking, or mimic a sun with a ARRI light through a window. Here, for instance, we shoot at night, but we made it look like a sunset in LA or Miami by setting the key light to around 2400 Kelvin for a warm golden hour effect. For a colder ambience like moonlight or overcast daylight, you'd set it closer to 5600 Kelvin. However, avoid placing lights too close to your subjects. You don't want to blind your talent or make them sweat if you are using tungsten lights, unless that's part of the context. So, as primary lighting kit, I used a 4-light ARRI tungsten kit. So, 2 650-watt warm lights, one 300-watt and a 150-watt light for the technical aspects of the scene. Note that I'm talking about the period from 2005 to 2017. Today, LED options are widely available, even if I still favor ARRI Fresnels. A good Kino Flow is a solid start as a key light. They are flicker-free and dimmable, and now you can find them in LED versions. Use a softbox or bounce light off a wall or ceiling to smooth out harsh shadows. Reflecting light off a ceiling can evenly raise the ambient light level and provide a comfortable, natural look. Use available lights like car dashboards or street lights to supplement your setup. For instance, car lights can create beautiful flares, and you can enhance them with tools like optical flares from Video Copilot, looks from Red Giant, or specific anamorphic lenses such as the Sirius Saturn. For backlights and details, I mostly use Dido Light, though I wouldn't recommend them. There are plenty of good alternatives out there. Use low power light sources and color gels to highlight details and create dynamic, interesting visuals. For example, in this scene, the green gels and backlights on the upper floor prevent the scene from looking dull or flat. Use a ring light if you want those shiny catch lights in the eyes of your talent. Results depend heavily on the camera settings. I typically shoot at 50 frames per second and edit at 25 FPS for perfect slow motion without frame interpolation. In my opinion, anything over 50 frames per second look overly fluid and unnatural, so I stick to 25 frames per second, which is close to the cinema standard. For shutter speed, 150 is the minimum to avoid motion blur, while 100 is my favorite. It's sharp, yet still retains some natural motion blur. Also, working in manual mode for aperture, shutter speed and ISO helps you avoid mistakes and give you full control over the shot. If you have too much light, maybe check if you can lower the ISO to improve the noise-to-light ratio rather than adjusting your lighting setup. I aim for a flat image profile to capture as much data as possible for color grading. However, be cautious if you are working with compressed formats. Heavy grading might introduce or highlight artifacts. It's always better to run some tests to see how your profile behaves. Ensure your color balance is accurate by using a camera preset or a white reference card. Note that white cards aren't always reliable due to variations in paper quality and ambient reflections. For light skin tones, you can get away with cold or warm lights depending on your preferences or the context. For darker skin tones, I prefer warmer lights to prevent them from looking washed out or aged by bluish reflections. To get accurate colors, use a monitor calibrated with a spectrometer. When adjusting brightness and contrast, always leave a small margin. Don't push the whites too bright or the blacks too dark. This prevents clipping or burning out the details in your image, keeping the highlights and shadows balanced and natural. Don't forget, your final image will appear after color grading. To preview it, you can apply a LUT on the footage while recording it flat. Create separation between your subject and the background with backlighting. Use wide aperture lenses for a shallow depth of field. Prime lenses are particularly effective because they have fewer elements in their construction, allowing more light in and providing a cleaner, richer sense of volume to the scene. Polarizing filters help reduce reflections and glare from surfaces like water or glass, allowing you to capture richer colors or more contrast in your shots. They also help deepen the blue of the sky and brighten out the details in clouds, making them ideal for outdoor scenes. Neutral density filters, on the other hand, are essential for controlling exposure in bright conditions. They act like sunglasses for your lens, allowing you to use wider apertures or slower shutter speeds without overexposing your image. This is particularly useful if you want to shoot at a wide aperture in a bright sunlight for a shallow depth of field. For music videos, ensure you capture the real sound. Use a good boombox and have the artist perform live. Faked lip syncing can feel unnatural and uncanny. Also, coordinate with the artist on fashion choices so you can select gels and accessories that match the overall color scheme. Post-production is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic wand. A poorly lit, badly framed or out of focus shot cannot be saved by editing, only improved upon. The best results come from capturing things right on set, minimizing the need for excessive corrections later. Shoot properly and take the time to capture the correct takes, so post-production becomes a tool for refinement, not for rescue. Finally, don't forget to bring drinks, snacks, shares, and maintain professionalism. A well-supported team makes a huge difference on set. And that's it. I hope you get something out of it. Let me know if there's a particular point you'd like to see in depth. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to book a session with me on our website. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.